where I'm just sharing as a yachty. And for those who don't know, yachty means Jamaican. So as a yachty who is out here in the US crushing it in the real estate, and yes, I am crushing it. Whether I'm at this level, that level, I am crushing it. Believe that. What I want to share today is how to set up an LLC. Like, I know we all find things on the internet. You have a lot of gurus saying this is how you do it, blah, blah, blah. But I wanted to go over the basics of what I did. Again, this full disclaimer, not saying this is the right way. Speak to your attorney on how to set this up, get legal advice, because everyone's strategy is different. So I'm going to walk you through the process of setting up my first official entity with getting help. Reason being because my first entity that I set up, that was for my digital marketing company. And that one, I did it on my own. It was fine. But after getting into real estate, because I've learned so many different things about setting up your structure for your partnerships, whatever it is. And then because of the backlash I was getting, because I wasn't a US citizen and I couldn't get a loan and all that stuff, we wanted to put things in place. So the first thing that we did when setting up an LLC was that we spoke to an attorney. We did our research on Google, but then we spoke to an attorney and we told the attorney what our situation was, what we're looking to do, all that stuff. And then in speaking with our attorney, the attorney was the one to guide us to be like, this is a structure that you guys would do, set up the entity here, XYZ. So after speaking to the attorney, they asked us, where are you looking to purchase the first property? And then we told them which state we were looking to. After telling them the state that we're looking to purchase the first property, they start giving us the pros and cons of setting up an entity within that state. They told us how long it will take to get the entity ready, the different costs, what information they will need. So I think having that attorney was very, very helpful. And then another thing that we learned is that when you're setting up an entity, as much as that you want to do it on your own, especially if this is a partnership, you need an operating agreement. And yes, you can go online and find like operating agreements and all that stuff, but then sometimes it can get so general. And especially if you don't know the partner, like for me, I knew the partner I was going on paper with. So if you don't know the partner, you don't want to use just a generic operating agreement. We had an attorney who went through everything for the operating agreement. If this happens, then X, Y, Z. And then because we're getting into real estate, remember that me getting into real estate, I couldn't get a loan in my name. So I had to get an LLC. And the partner who was on the LLC had to be a US citizen. So because of that structure, that situation, we had to structure the operating agreement differently. Again, I'm not an attorney, I'm just sharing an example. So one example, and I've learned this over the years, as now it's super normal, I've structured all my businesses this way, is that let's say you're getting a loan and because you're not a US citizen, you can't own, let's say 25%. So let's do John and Pam. Pam is not a US citizen. So Pam on the LLC where she's buying that asset cannot own 25%. So John would have to own 75% because John is a US citizen. But in reality, John and Pam are putting the same amount of effort and capital into the deal. So what if something goes wrong and John is like, listen, screw you, Pam is doomed? Because as much as Pam put all the effort and money into it, Pam is doomed. So what the attorney did was that you had the LLC. So, oh my God, I'm trying to explain this so it really makes sense. You had the let's say Florida LLC. We have the Florida LLC. Florida LLC shows this person owns 75%, this person owns 25%. But instead of these two persons owning that LLC, another LLC owned this LLC. So again, so you had John, Pam, 75, 25%. So 75, 25%, right? And those are members of this entity. So let's call this entity Florida LLC, right? But there's another LLC that owns Florida LLC. So maybe Tennessee LLC owns the Florida LLC. And in the Tennessee LLC, it shows now that Pam, that was down here, and John, that was down here, owns 50-50. So everyone is still protected. This is why, guys, it is so, so important to talk to an attorney, because they know the different structures and routes that you can take if you're setting up an entity and you want to buy a business, you want to get whatever is it that you want to do, and you're not a citizen, but you have your social, all that stuff, but you want to protect yourself, right? You still want to protect yourself. They can help you to structure all the paperwork when you're setting up an entity. So worst case scenario, you are still protected, but any circumstance at all. So I hope this helps. And do your research too. Like literally do your own research. Ask questions. Ask if you want attorney referrals. I can only give you attorney that I have worked with. But always ask for referrals from other persons as well. Whatever industry that you're in, whatever state that you're in, ask. Referrals go a long way instead of you trying to find an attorney by yourself. So hope this video helps, and thank you guys for watching.